Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is August 16th, 2026. It is Sunday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I hope you guys are having a fabulous weekend. Cannot believe it's already coming to an end. Oh, they go so fast. All right. We are going to be playing with the Sunset Coast bundle. It is part of the Scenic Coast suite of products. This was my favorite suite in the catalog. So before we get started, let me make sure I am going live in the right spot. You know, all the technology stuff before we get too far into this. Give me just a moment. All right, there I am. I'm in the right spot. Let me see if you guys can hear me okay. Going live in the right, yep, okay. And let me turn on live chat. If you guys are scrolling through the Facebook world, make sure you say hi. If you don't say hi, I don't know that you're watching, and I can't comment back. So, my camera is a little wonky. Let me see if I can fix this. Give me just a second. Looks like I'm leaning. Let me go scoochy scooch and come down a little bit, it looks like. There. Are we better? Are we straight? Okay, that's better, I think. All right. So, before we get into this, because I want to allow everybody some time to hop on and find me, I'm going to put that to the side. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping like we do every week. So, Stampin' Up! Does offer 3 levels of creativity. We have something for everyone. We have our step-by-step instruction kits, which is great for beginners. We have our quick and easy options, which is the mix and match section of the catalog, where you don't have to have a whole bunch of crafting supplies, but it's enough supplies to let your creativity go and you put together the things how you want. And then that's kind of the intermediate middle level. And then of course, creativity your own way, level 3. Pretty much anything goes. You find whatever you like in the catalog and you just create until your heart's content. So, for the level 1 kits, we offer 2 different kinds of kits. We have the kits that are in the brown box. These can be found at stampinup.com. They come out with 2 kits, at least 2 every month. So these are constantly rotating in and out the door. We put a kit together a couple weeks ago. It was a really easy kit, but it's beautiful. I'll show it to you here in a second. And then our other card kit is a paper pumpkin kit. This is a monthly subscription kit. So you do have to subscribe and become a member, but you can start it and stop it. You don't have to get every month. These are kind of like Christmas at your door every month. We don't ever really get to know everything that's in them. They want it to be a surprise. So they give us little sneak peeks. So the kits in the brown box for the month of August are the Crafted Blooms kit, which is a beautiful floral kit. I love the when we have each other, we have everything. Aww. And then the Witchy Whimsy hat kit. This is a felt fabric hat. Not intended to be worn. It's intended for home decor, but you could wear it. And it's beautiful. I love Halloween. I opted not to get this. You do have to have a glue gun. I am not a glue gun person. I always burn myself. It never fails. And then the other type of kit that we have for scrapbookers are the scrapbook workshop kits. They have pretty much everything that you need to make 3 2-page layouts. Your paper, your die cuts, your stickers, your photo placeholders in case you don't have your photos, your cardstock. All you really need is your adhesive. So those are our kits. And again, you can find them at stampinup.com. The monthly subscription paper pumpkin kits, the sneak peeks. I don't know if you guys remember the laser cut one with the ombre effect that had that beautiful sentiment about not knowing what to say. You know, just kind of a hard sympathy. It is on the way to my door. It'll probably arrive tomorrow or Tuesday. I'll have it by Saturday and Sunday to show it to you on the next Facebook Live. We won't put it together, but I will show you the kit. And then, of course, the one that you need right now to subscribe between August 11th and September 10th is the Aspens of Gratitude kit. This is a beautiful fall kit. Fall is just the month of gratitude, of saying thanks. So I think the watercolor effect, the pretty simple, elegant, I think it's just going to be gorgeous. So look forward to that. And of course, there's always dies that you can get for the quarter. These are the add-on dies called Flora Die. Detailed Flora Dies is the name of it. It's item 168664. They are $13. This was meant to go for the month of July. This went with August. This one went with September. You don't have to have the dies. If you just want to put the kits together the way they come, don't worry about the dies. The dies are just fun if you want to keep the crafting going. Hi, Mom. How are you? Yay, Facebook's working. You never know. All right. Don't want to forget to mention, if you haven't taken advantage of it yet, there is a paper sale going on August 4th through 31st. So it's been going a couple weeks. I'm not really sure what has sold out, what hasn't. It's 15% off, which is better than free shipping. Shipping is about 11%. So this is the best deal that you're going to get on our paper ever. About half of the card stock was on sale. The other half wasn't. And then there is some select designer series paper, which is our pattern paper. So while you are shopping and you're putting in your orders, don't forget of the product of the month. Product of the month is an item that Stampin' Up! Comes out with. Sometimes it's paper, sometimes it's dies, sometimes it's embellishments. It really just changes every once in a while. It's a stamp set. For this month, you do have to spend $75, but then you get this item for $5. So this month for August, it is the Glow of Harvest Designer Series paper. You guys, this paper has like this pearlized, there, you can kind of see it there. It's almost like built-in glitter, like shimmer. But anyway, it is this beautiful pack of paper. You get 2 pieces of each. They are single-sided. But there are some acorns, some leaves, some little flowers, Cajun craze, golden glow, pecan pie. These are kind of the colors. There's some green, like an old olive, I would think. But it is just a gorgeous pack of paper. There are some pumpkins. So if you guys are ready to start your fall card making, this is gorgeous. Oh, it was a little delayed. I'm sorry, Mom. That stinks. There are quite a few different patterns. So anyway, just a beautiful pack of paper. And it's called Glow of Harvest. So beautiful. If you're shopping, don't forget to add that to your cart. I am sure that this paper will sell out, so get it while you can. Another thing to mention while you're shopping, not only does Stampin' Up! Sell crafting supplies, we do offer craft classes. So if you're wanting to learn a new technique, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. Oh goodness, I just clicked on something. Lord help us all. I don't know how to get that off. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. What was I saying? Card classes, craft classes, retreats. We're fixing to do on October 1st through 2nd a virtual card retreat. That'll be fun. They just did a poinsettia class and the metallic hot foiling class. So if you're wanting to learn new things, don't forget that there are classes that you can shop for. And if you go online and you go to shop and do all products, I think you're going to see all the classes listed under there. This, of course, is our current catalog right now that you can shop from. This is ending this month. So September 1st, we will have a new catalog full of holiday goodies. Guys, I have been playing with the holiday goodies. So here's, just a little taste of some Halloween, some fall, some Christmas. Here's some hot foiling. So anyway, I've been trying to make as many cards as possible to show off to you guys. This Scenic Coast are cards that I designed about a month ago. I'm about 2 to 4 weeks ahead of what I show. So just keep that in mind. So of course, don't forget, the best place to shop is online, because even though our catalogs are great, if you're not shopping online, then you're missing out on the online exclusives. We had a whole bunch of them go live July 1st. So we will have some that go live September 1st, because it's every other month. And then in those off months, we're always having our last chance list updated. So don't forget about our discounted items. You can find those online as well. And then, of course, the new thing everybody's been talking about is the metallic magic. The new hot foil, they came out with some products July 1st, I believe. It might have been August 1st for you guys. We're a month ahead as a demonstrator. But then we also have some holiday stuff going live September 1st. So some red, green, copper, some silver opal, some new foil colors, some wreaths, some Christmas sayings, some Christmas trees, some snowflakes, whole bunch of really pretty products. So, and if you guys stay tuned, I can show what I got, because I already have these in my hot little hands. I can show you what came, I believe this last week is when I got mine, but here's one of the cards right here. It's got hot foiling on a window sheet and then just the stamped image inside. And then I did just go ahead and add like a little layer for you to write your message on. So fun, fun, fun. So if you stay tuned, we can go through the new hot foiling dies. All right, so one thing I want to mention, if you're here local, Jason and I did put our cards and our flags in a storefront this week or last week. It's been a couple of weeks, but if you're here local, make sure you stop at the Conscious Community Co-op. It's at 200 South Fretz Avenue here in Edmond. It's a wonderful store. They have lots of homemade items, homegrown, locally made, and I'm talking non-GMO, free of pesticides, produce, eggs, milk, bread, meat. They've got canned veggies, they've got jams, salsas. There's just tons of stuff there. So if you're looking for a good place to shop local, to support small businesses, community or Conscious Community Co-op at 200 South Fretz. They're open from 8 to 8, 7 days a week. So our stuff can be found there if you're local, or our first craft show that we've signed up for. Now, I signed up for this last year because it was such a great craft show for us. It's Earth Glow Market. It's been around forever. This is their 41st annual year of doing it. It's going to be Saturday, November 14th. It's at Church of the Servant at 14343 North MacArthur Boulevard, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73142. It's free admission, 9 to 3. They have tons of baked goods, crafts. They have a cafe there. They have holiday decor there. So come out, say hi. I would love to meet you if you're here local. And then there's a couple other craft shows that Jason and I have reached out to that we're still waiting to hear back. It just depends on scheduling. A lot of those craft shows are in November, and so November gets really busy really fast. Okay, you guys, enough chatting. Let's get to crafting. Again, we're using the Sunset Coast bundle. This is part of the Scenic Coast suite of products. This was my favorite suite out of our current catalog. So I got this several months ago and I've just saved the best for last. It is on page 26, 27 of our current catalog. This has some wonderful designer series paper, some wonderful dies. It's amazing. So I have created over 20 different cards using this suite of products. In fact, in the designer series paper, there's 48 sheets that come in a 6x6 pack. And I have probably maybe 10 pieces left. I've used majority of it. Now, this is a suite that we are using for my class for the month of August. So some of that was used up for card class. But I love this suite the most out of this catalog. And then my second runner-up was the Waterside Retreat. We did this around Father's Day. I don't know if you guys remember this suite of products or not, but I created a ton of cards using it. So if you've missed any of those, go back, look at those. Again, this catalog is coming to an end this month. So I'm wrapping up the month of August using my favorite thing out of this catalog. And then it looks like October, they will put things on the last chance list. So these items could be going, and once they go, they are gone. So get them while you can, or you'll be sad. These are shadow box, or what I would call diorama cards. They do fit flat in an envelope, but then they open up and pop up like this. And I've made one of each using the 3 main dies that come in this bundle. So the 3 main dies is this sailboat, this sun rays, and then this lighthouse. Now, I don't know if I will have enough time to make all 3. We'll see how far we get, but that's kind of what we are looking at. I'm going to put those over here. These cards are so simple to make. You can get 2 out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. We are going to be using the Secret Sea. It's a very dark blue, almost a black. We're going to cut this in half on the 11-inch side, so at 5.5. And just in case I can get to all 3 of these cards, I'm going to go ahead and cut another one. So let me grab, you know, it's easier if you do the same thing multiple times, because then you're just, you know, assembly aligning everything. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this to where this is the 8.5 right here, and this is the 5.5. So we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. We're going to rotate it. Oh, actually, hold on. Before I do that, let's do 1/2 and then 1. I'm forgetting a score line. So an inch. Oh no, I just cut that. Okay, put my cutter out of the way. Redo. Scoring, Shauna. 1/2 inch and an inch. Rotate it 1/2 inch and an inch. Both sides. And the reason why we're doing this before we cut it is because these score lines are now going to match. I'm going to cut this in half. This is our 8.5 piece or side. So I'm going to cut this at 4.25. Okay, this is the front, this is the back. That's one card. Let's do that 2 more times. And again, assembly align is the best way to do it. So 1/2, 1. You guys are going to be so amazed at how quick these cards come together. Scoring, not cutting, 1/2 and an inch. Cutting at 4.25, which is 1/2 of the 8.5. Card number 2. Okay, one more. Not cutting, make sure you move your cutter out of the way. 1/2 score. 1 inch score. Rotate it. 1/2 and a hole. Are you guys surviving the heat? Tell you what, the only way to survive the heat is to be in the pool. I do not want to be outside unless it is in the water. We're going to cut this in half at 4 1/4. And again, card 3. Okay. Let's move our cutter out of the way. Let's do the sailboat first. So we're going to take our sailboat die and our die cutting machine. And I don't know if you guys can see these score lines because this is dark cardstock, but I'm going to put my die in the middle between this score line and this score line. So the 1-inch score lines on both sides. And I'm going to put it up towards the top so that it can leave us enough room to put our stamped sentiment saying on the bottom. I'm just making sure that I'm getting my sailboat where it's traveling straight and not up or down. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm going to run this through. And that's going to cut that out. Okay, we're going to put this to the side. That's card 1. We're going to grab our next die. Let's do the lighthouse. Same thing. And this is using, just so everybody knows, plate 1, plate 2, plate 3 on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I know I hardly ever say that because I just assume that all of you guys have one and that you know how to use it. But if you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, comment, share my videos. It does help me get my name out into the world. The more people I reach, the kinder the place is going to be because we're all making cards and sending them out, right? Okay, so I've got that lined up. I need to scoot it up though. I almost forgot. We need to put a sentiment down there. That would not have been good. Okay, and I'm trying to get this die, because it's on a diagonal, I want to make sure that this lighthouse is straight up and down. It's very easy to get this die a little cockeyed. So you do want to make sure that your lighthouse is straight. We don't want a leaning lighthouse. Okay. Here is card 2. And let's do card 3. And actually on card 3, which I forgot to grab a die, so bear with me a second. I need which die did I use? That's the next question. Give me just a second, just a moment. Trying to figure out which die I used for the sun ray, because I did this a little bit differently. I had to bring in an extra die. I think it is, yep. It was just a circle die that fit into, I was basically cutting a hole so that I could put my sun rays in. So, And let me see if this is a Stampin' Up. This is not a Stampin' Up die. So just grab one of your circle dies, or what you could do is lay this down on a piece of paper with a pencil, trace it, and then cut it out. So either way. I did a lot of scrapbooking and card making before I ever joined the Stampin' Up world, so I have a lot of materials on hand. Okay. So again, I'm just going to push this up towards the top so that I can have enough room down here for my sentiment, and I'm making sure that I am smack dab in between those two score lines. Put my top number 3 plate down and run it through. And this is card number 3. And while I have my die cutting out, I am going to go ahead and die cut my little sun rays. This is on a piece of just gold paper. This is Stampin' Up! Gold metallic paper, I think is what they call it. I can't remember what the name of it is. I think it's just gold paper, gold metallic paper. I'm going to run this through. And that should be all of our die cutting. So I'm going to move this machine out of my way. Move my cutting plates out of the way. I think we are done with those. And then this is going to cut out all of these rays. I will tell you, if you are cutting this die out, don't throw away these little rays pieces, because, hold on, let me grab a card that I made. So I want to show you guys what you can do. Don't ever let anything go to waste. This is probably one of my favorite cards that I created. See these rays right here? That's these little pieces right here. And what I did was I just took like the main piece, and I did it this way because I used the lighthouse kind of as the sun. And I laid that down and used it as a template, and then I came back through with all my pieces and put them in order. So don't throw away those little pieces. We're only using this part of it today though. So let me put my die back on my little magnetic sheet so I don't lose it. Let me get all of this out of my way. Okay. And just while I've got this right here in front of me, like I said, this is the third part of this series, the Scenic Coast series. So the first video we did a couple weeks ago was this card kit called Painted Skies. I thought this would be a nice, fun, introductory. So if you want to see this card kit in action, go back 2 weeks ago and you'll be able to see this video. If you can't find it on Facebook, you can head over to my YouTube channel, Creating Cards from the Heart, and see it there. After this live, I'll link it up in the post to this Facebook Live. And then last week's card was this card right here. So again, if you'd like to see either one of those, head on over or go back a couple of weeks and you should be able to find those and see those. Okay. Put my dies back so I don't lose anything. And give me just a second. Okay, trying to get my life straight here. Now the piece of paper, so let me pull out this pack of paper, and again, I've showed this pack of paper off the last 3 weeks. So in this pack of paper, this is a 6x6 piece of paper pack. There are 8 designs of each piece of this, so 48 pieces total. But this does have some nice shimmer, some nice reflection, some foiling going on, which makes this paper really pretty. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. And these papers are just gorgeous. And like I said, I've created over 20 different varieties of cards using this pack of paper. So I will show all of those to you at the very end of this series. Stay tuned. And I don't know why you would want to use the back side of these papers, but here are the back sides to those papers. I've used them a few times as just little side strips, but never as the main focal. It's always been this. So that's the pack of paper that comes in this suite of products. The other thing that comes in this suite of products is called the purple adhesive backed sequins. So, oh, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Let me find it. Here we go. That's the same. Oh, here it is, in the wrong spot. Okay. Sunset Sparkle Sequins is the name. Wow, Shauna, how to be efficient. Thanks. I'm trying. So these are the 4 different colors. There is, I'm going to say pumpkin pie, strawberry slush. This to me is a pool party, but they're saying probably like balmy blue. And then this is like a clear, but it does have a little bit of a purple texture. It's kind of like an iridescent look. So it does show a little bit of like gorgeous grape in there when you tilt it back and forth. But Sunset Sparkle Sequins are the sequins that go with this suite of products. So, okay, the paper that we're going to use for these cards today is this one right here. And I'm going to say the hardest part of this card is getting the piece in the middle to be exactly what you want. And the way I did that, the piece that goes in the middle needs to be 3.5. So again, if you were to look at these score lines, you've got 3.5 between this score line and this score line. So really, you would probably want it to be like 3 3/8, a little bit under 3.5. So on these papers, and I'm going to cut each one of these differently because as you'll notice on this one, the sailboat is on this side, so I wanted my sun over here. This one, the lighthouse is on this side, so I wanted my sun more over here. So for each one of these, I cut it down. Now I did use a different piece on this. The piece that I used for it was this piece right here. And I opted to use this piece because it didn't have a sun already on here. And I thought that worked out really well because you already have your sun right here. Okay. So let's, again, I'm going to work on the sailboat one first. Let's put our sun on this side because our sailboat's going to be on this side. And again, we're looking at like 3 3/8. So I'm wanting it, this was my thought process, okay? So 1, 2, 3/8. It puts 3/8 about right here. Well, I need it to be a little bit more. So what I'm trying to do is find my 3 3/8 line. So 1, 2, 3. If I put my 3/8 right here, that looks pretty good to me. So when I bring back in my trimmer, I'm just going to make sure that I stay in between these cut lines. And of course, this right here measures the 4 1/4. So we're only going to want to go to 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead, because that's pretty much the middle of the paper, I'm going to go ahead and leave this as my top, and then just come down here and cut 4 1/4. So really all I'm worried about are my sides for this one. Now this one we're going to do a little bit differently, because we want the lighthouse on this side. So we want our sun, or our sunset, over here on this side. So again, I'm going to see where I'm at 3 3/8. That's the edge of the paper. That may be a little too far over. So, because that doesn't leave much room on this side. So I'm going to scoot. Hope this is making sense. Is this making sense, Mom? 1, 2, 3. So if I go 3/8 right here, that gives me about that much room. That looks pretty good to me. So I'm just going to mark that. And again, this should be fine going from the top to the bottom, because that looks pretty centered. That's about 2 3/8 right there, that horizon line. So that's the paper for that one. And then this one, it does not really matter. I did want to keep this in the middle of the paper, this reflective piece right here. So I'm just going to put 3 3/8 about right here and right here. I'm just eyeballing it. And then again, we just want to make sure we've got 4 1/4 to work with as the height. So I don't want to go all the way up here, because that's going to leave a lot of top and not a lot of water. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to say about, put that horizon line at the 2 1/4. That way that's kind of in the middle. And then we've got 4 1/4 down here. So we're going to cut a little off the top and the bottom on that one. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's pull back out our trimmer. I'm going to use this as, pull this out. I don't want to be on top and rip anything. Hopefully I am in the camera. So I'm using my pencil marks. I'm putting that right there in the middle of that little trowel. And now I need this to be 3 1/8, or 3 3/8. So 1, 2, 3/8. That's putting our little pencil line probably pretty close. In fact, it looks like I need to erase a little bit. And then again, remember this was pretty much in half, so we're just going to measure a little under. I'm going to, instead of going the full 4 1/4, I'm going to go like 4 3/16. That's the notch right underneath the 4 1/4. Okay, so there's our piece of paper for the sailboat. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to make all 3 cards. It's 4:45. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. And then this was 3 3/8. But I did want to show you guys how to cut the paper and show you guys how I lined it up, so that if you guys want to make these cards yourself, you know how to do it. Go right underneath the 4 1/4. This is the lighthouse. Three and 3/8. And then this one, I wanted to cut some off the top. And it doesn't have to be exact. Those were really just kind of guidelines. And then this is a little under 4 1/4, so 4 3/16. Okay, so now we have all of our paper cut ready for these pieces. And you do end up with a lot of strips left over on a lot of these cards I made. Don't necessarily throw these away, especially these big ones. Some of these you can use for the inside of your cards or on other cards. So when I go to show that to you at the end, when I show you all these cards that I made, you'll see where I've used some of those strips. So save those strips, don't toss them yet. Yes, I'm following your train of thought. Good. Okay, so let's bring back in our sailboat. Let's get at least one of these made. And I'm going to bring in my bone folder. If I can grab it, good grief. Okay. Oh, actually, let's do some stamping before I fold these, because it's always easier to stamp before you on a flat image. So we're going to do some heat embossing. You'll see where I've done wherever this note finds you, wishing you a lifetime of joy. Those both come out of this bundle set. However, the lighthouse I thought needed a little bit of a pun. So "You light up my life" was a saying that I had from an old stamp set. This comes from Watts of Occasion. "You light up my life." And you'll notice this is on top and on bottom. Well, I wanted it straight across. So what I've done is I've gone in there and I've cut my stamp. Yes, I did stamp surgery. I just cut it with a pair of rubber scissors, lined it up on a grid paper, and then I can stamp it long ways. And it's very easy to take this off the block and put it back together this way. So don't worry about doing surgery on your stamps. It's okay. So what I'm going to do, Stampin' Up! Does make a heat embossing kit. It comes with this great pair of reverse tweezers. That way it doesn't get hot when you're using the heat embossing. Comes with this embossing tray. It comes with an embossing buddy. This is like a little sack of flour so that you can get all the grease and static off of your paper. So that way you don't get little pieces of embossing powder everywhere. So that's what we're going to be using. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy. And if you've never heat embossed before, my granddaughter says it's magic. And it really is. It's a very fun technique. So you're going to use what's called a glue ink pad. Versamark is the one that is well known, but it just looks like that. There are other brands out there. And this one I'm going to put wherever this note finds you. And the saying for the inside of this says, "I hope it finds you happy." So wherever this note finds you, I hope it finds you happy. And I just love that because, you know, in this crazy world that we live in, everybody needs some happiness. So I just wish everybody just a happy day. I'm going to stand up over this and get this lined up. Hopefully that's lined up. Press down. And then I'm going to bring in my embossing powder. Now these embossing powders come in little bitty jars. I put mine in a container like this, just because it's easier. I have these little bitty ice cream like tester spoons. And so I don't use my embossing tray so much. Because to me, the way you're supposed to use that embossing tray is you put all the powder in it, and then there's this little thing that you unscrew, and then all the embossing powder goes through that back into your little jar. This also comes with a brush. Let me reach across my camera. A little brush to wipe away the strays, because you definitely don't want stray embossing powder and little dots all over. I think that's pretty good. There's one right up here. Put this to the side. And I'm going to grab my heat emboss. So again, I'm reaching across the camera, sorry. This is called your heat emboss tool. It's going to get a little loud, but it's going to heat up, and then you will watch this turn a different color. And this is where your little tweezers come in handy, because this will blow your paper. So you'll start to see this get nice and hot, and it'll get really, really white. Do you guys see it changing? Let's see if I can turn that to a better angle. And you'll know when it turns, because like I said, it gets really bright and really white. So there's that one. Let's go ahead and do the other one. Let's see. This one is the wishing you a lifetime of joy. So again, we're going to do the same thing. Take our little embossing buddy, get all of our oils from our fingers off of there so that nothing sticks. Here's the wishing you a lifetime of joy stamp. Again, out of that same bundle. This is going to be a tight fit. I didn't leave enough room almost. Okay. I'm committing. Yep, like magic. It is. Again, we're going to pull over my embossing powder. And get enough embossing powder. Make sure you coat it really well. Tap, tap, tap. Get all the extras off. Turn it over. Make sure you don't have any little bits that you need to come back in with your little paintbrush and brush off. I'm going to heat this one up. I think if I turn it this way, I know it's upside down for you guys, but I think you can see it get white and bright better. I think you get a better visual of it. My finger's getting a little hot. That's why it's great to use that. Okay. So there's that one. And last but not least is this one right here, lighthouse. You light up my life. It looks like I caught an edge over here, so I'm gonna see if I can wipe that off with my finger. Ooh, I caught a big edge over here. You don't want that glue on anywhere other than your words. Hopefully this will work. Trying to see my score lines because they're really hard to see. I'm a little, okay, I'm not straight. So I would probably redo that one because I am way off. So let's not worry about that one. Today I will redo that one off the screen. Okay. I will just cut another one of those out. No biggie. Because you do want to be nice and straight. Okay. So I'm going to clean all that off. Now I've got embossing stuff all over. And I'm going to show you how to put one of these together because it's so easy. So the sailboat had the sun that was over here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to put some adhesive down on this, all four sides. And again, you're gonna have to trust me because I don't think you can see these score lines. I can barely see them. But I'm gonna come up here and butt this up, and it really is just leaving about a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Like there's not much wiggle room on this. Sorry, I'm trying to get that on there as straight as possible. Okay. And then, I don't know if you've noticed, but like on the sides, so those extra strips that I had, I just cut. Where did I put those strips? Oh, they're over here. Okay, so like here was one. So you're gonna come in here and use these little strips. And you just need, since these little pieces are only about a half, you can need right underneath a half. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/16, whatever that is. So you're going right under a half. So you're just cutting little strips to lay down on that. And that was 4 1/2, so or 4 1/4, so I cut right underneath 4 1/4. So there's one. And then we only might get one of these cards put together, guys. Sorry. Where's the other piece that I just put down? There it is. Ay, ay, ay. So again, we're going right underneath that little notch underneath the half. And then we're going right underneath the 4 1/4. This is our bottom piece. This is our top piece. So we're going to come in before we glue this all together. We're going to put these strips on this outside piece. Whoops. Did I cut that one wrong? I did. I don't know. Okay. Ay. I think I'm trying to go too fast and speed up, and now I'm causing myself issues. Slow down, Shauna. Breathe. It's just a video. I think I'm trying to hurry because I still want to show you guys the hot foil dies. The new hot foil dies that are in the house, because they are so pretty. Okay, so there's one. Bring back in my trimmer. Let me cut another piece off of this, since somehow, some way, I did not do the measurement on the other one correctly. I don't know what I did. I have to go back and watch my video to find out. Sometimes when I go back, I watch the videos and I'm like, oh, that's what I did wrong. Shauna, you weren't paying attention. Okay, now this one should fit. Like a glove. Okay. So now we've got all of our paper on. We have our heat embossing done. And all it is about scoring or folding on those score lines. So we're going to bend this one up, and you do need to reinforce these, so give these a good burnish. So fold up, and then, man guys, I'm telling you, it is really hard to see these score lines. Dark paper does not help. Okay. So what you're going to come out with is a valley and a mountain on each side. So again, valley. I'm hilarious. Thanks, Mom. Glad you think so. Glad you're seeing the humor in it. And mountain. So there is our top piece. And we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go the reverse way. So now we're going to go mountain. Actually, sorry. Valley, mountain. I knew I was an overachiever when I thought I was going to be able to do all three of these cards. They really are quick and easy cards. Okay, so that is what the bottom piece looks like. This is what the top piece looks like. And they just connect like that. They sit on top of each other. And then when you go to mail them, they lay flat like this. And then what I've done is on the back, you can put your little basic white papers, your little sentiment. I even did some little extra stamping down here on this one, and that's where you can sign it. So I would use tear and tape to put this together. So you're just going to put some tear and tape right here and right here. Let's go ahead and complete this one. Oh, my tear and tape is across the table. Give me just 1 second. Here I thought I was sewed together. One piece. One piece. But I did really want to talk you through those measurements on how to cut your paper. I've lost my little pokey tool, so we'll just grab this. Pull the backings off. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. You're gonna go wiggly wiggly. Get ready. Here we go, wiggly wiggly. Okay, and then we're just gonna line these edges up. Line this edge up. Push them down, rub them together, and then push these in, lay that flat, and then that kind of makes it stand up and poof out a little bit more. Anyway, there's your cards. There's your little shadow box diorama cards. I'll finish these others off the camera, but let's talk about some hot foil dies, guys. Are you guys ready to see what's coming September 1st in the hot foiling world? Okay. So first of all, they came out with this reverse hot foil die, which is not very exciting. It's just a plain die, but this lets you use the negative pieces, the pieces that I was telling you not to throw away in the hot foiling video that I did 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. You'll have to go back and watch. But that's what this is. So again, not very exciting on that one, but it's going to do magical things. So we have that. We have the Starry Night hot foil die. This was part of a bundle. I did not get the stamp that went with this because I just wanted the hot foiling die. But this puts some little snow dots, some little asterisks. I think that is it's like a star with a whole bunch of dots around it. So really cute, really pretty. That's going to be fun to use as a background. This other background is called the Buffalo Check hot foil die. It's just a real nice, you know, buffalo check. Again, the background die. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to start playing. I did some foiling last night, so that one's a repeat. You guys have already seen that. Here's one called Framed and Fabulous. So this is a bundle. So they have these stamps, which no big deal, right? We know what a sentiment stamp is. But check out the hot foil dies, guys. These hot foil dies can do like this little floral image, this little dash image, and then you use these to cut out like this little I'm gonna call it a floral thing. It's like 3 little leaves. That fits perfectly once you hot foil it into this scallop. See how that scallop frames those 3 leaves right there just perfectly? Oh my gosh, guys. I'm telling you, this is gonna create some fabulous cards. Same way with this little dotted one fits around this. And this one right here fits around this one. So, cannot wait to start playing. If you guys are local and you want to come over here and play, just holler at me. Another one was called Wreath and Wonder hot foil dies. Now I did again not get the stamp set that went with this bundle. I just got the dies. So I thought, you know, wreaths, you need wreaths at Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So we have this wonderful like nature wheat, it's not floral, but more like foliage die for fall. And then this cuts it out. And then we have this great leafy like Christmas wreath, a normal Christmas wreath. And that cuts this one out. And then you've got these dots that you could put. This is my idea, guys. This is where my brain goes. I am loving this hot foiling on the window sheets. Yeah, Mom, I think so too. So see this window sheet? See how this copper foil, the tinsel of the Christmas tree, lays on top of that Christmas tree? Well, here are the red berries to this wreath. So you could do the same thing. You could do the berries on the hot foil on the window sheet and then stamp your wreath back here. So that'll be fun. And again, there is a stamp set that goes with that, but I didn't really care for the stamp set. We have a wonderful lustrous leaves hot foil die. So this is kind of like the butterfly one where it comes with the mask. So you can hot foil the leaves in like say copper and then lay your mask over them. See, we have several different to give us the blending colors. So you're going to take your blending brushes and blend. And then you have a die that cuts all those leaves out. And then there's like 3 leaves of this, 3 leaves of this, 3 leaves of this. So you have all these leaves. I'm telling you, some gorgeous fall cards coming to you soon. Oh yes, oh yes. And you know how much I love ink blending. But that was kind of like the butterfly one. And I've created some beautiful butterfly cards. Here is the Christmas Wish hot foil die. This was just a loaner. It doesn't come with another one. But you foil this, the Christmas Wish, and then you can cut out, if you foil it twice, the wording out of a different color. So say you did the snowflake and the Christmas wishes all in silver, but you wanted the Christmas wishes, the wording in red, you could foil it again in the red and then cut the words out and lay the words on top of this silver snowflake. Gorgeous! I am all about this hot foiling. If you guys have not got on the hot foiling bus, it's wonderful. This is a wonderful die. You can use this as a background image if you want, or it cuts out all of these Christmas sayings. So here's the actual hot foiling die. So you run this through once. So you have all these sayings. So you could use this as a total background, the whole background of a card. Or you could take it, once you've hot foiled it, you could take it and cut each one of these sayings out. And I don't know if you'll notice, but on this, there's this square right here and this square right here. Well, that lines up with this square right here and this square right here. So when you go to die cut it, you just line up those squares and it cuts out perfectly. There's no guessing. Just two more. Again, this was part of a bundle. So I did not get the Christmas trees that went with the deer because I got this Christmas tree. I only need one. But these are some deers. So here are the deers. There's 4 deers that you can hot foil. A daddy deer, a mama deer, a little baby deer, and then like a little doe. Just like a little like 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a toddler. And then you could cut those out. So you could do all 4 of these deers. And I'm telling you what, there's a new designer series paper. It has some evergreen trees in it. I think it's called Winter Woodland or Woodland Winter. You'll see it September 1st. It's in the new catalog. If you just hot foil these dies and then hot foil these deers and then place those deers on the paper, I think you've got a card just like that instantly. And last but not least, my favorite one, Twinkling Tidings. And again, this is the reason why I did not get the Christmas tree that went with this, because I did get this bundle. This right here kind of has the look of that starry, the background stamp that I showed you in the very beginning. Hold on just a second, I'm trying to grab it. This one right here, Starry Night. Kind of has that same whimsical little twinkling look. And this is like a 2-set stamp. So you stamp this one in your background color, that's kind of like the filler of the tree. And then you stamp this one in the outline. So if you can tell on this card, this light granny apple green is this one right here. And then this dark edging, this mossy meadow that you see is this one right here, just stamped on top of each other. They line up perfectly. It also comes with some lights to string on your Christmas tree. Comes with some little stars. So this set, I think, is just, I don't know who designed it, but they were clever. So it has an arch die in it. And this arch die is huge. In fact, it's bigger than this arch die. This arch die is not this one. I actually pulled out one from our other arch dies because I wanted it to, if you use this, you have itty bitty little edging. So I'm just letting you know, this is your hot foil die, and it says, oh, wishing you a beautiful Christmas. Those are the words around the top of it. And then this would die cut it out, so you could foil it and not even use the words. This little tree skirt cover is a hot foil die. This to and from is a hot foil die. And then this from our family to yours is a hot foil die. So you could definitely, this is a perfect die for a tag. So if you know, hot foiled that and then cut it out with an arch die and then did your to and from down here at the bottom, you have an instant tag. These little stars right here, cut out these little stars right here in the stamp. And again, you've got your little lights to string on your tree and a little Christmas tree skirt. You guys, aww. So those are most of the hot foil dies that are available September 1st. There are a few in there that I did not get. Can't get everything. But I wanted to share those with you. So again, if you're local, you want to come play, holler at me. I'm usually in my craft room most of the weekend. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's card. I'm sorry that we did not get all 3 of them made. Of course, I did go in. I even added some bling, you know, with those sunset sparkle sequins. So I added like 3 to every card. Here's the other one. So sorry we didn't get all of those made. I had high hopes. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now I have a huge aftermath, a craftermath to clean up after my video. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you back here next Sunday at 4 p.m. Again, we'll be continuing with the Sunset Coast, Scenic Coast Suite. We will be making this card right here. So again, using the sailboat die, using this piece of paper actually is what I use, but I might use a different piece of paper on this one and make it a little bit different. Maybe I'll use the lighthouse so that you can see both of them. You're welcome, Mom. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, you guys have a fabulous week. Take care. We'll see you back here next Sunday at 4 o'clock. Bye.